everybody! Welcome to another video, and this video is going to be about Loki episode 3, which aired today. I just watched it a little while ago, and while the episode wasn't as long as the other ones, there was a lot of good information in there. So, from hence on, this point on, there's a spoiler warning. Spoilers, or potential spoilers, if you haven't seen Loki episode 3. Okie dokie. Now, one of the rumors that have been going with the Marvel sphere, the people who talk about Marvel stuff, who talk about Loki and Star Wars and all that. Well, one of the theories that have been going through was that the LVA agents were or are variants. That was confirmed by Lady Loki, Sylvia. This was confirmed by Sylvia. And I think also Sylvia will probably go by the name of Enchantress. This is going to be her, her story coming out, I believe, in Loki. And it's possible that, there'll be other hero coming out stories within Loki. It's probably going to be one of those types of series. But I think Sylvia is going to be Enchantress. Now, I haven't done anything with I haven't read those comics or stuff like that. The comics I read growing up was mostly Spider-Man comics. Spider-Man 2099. And that would be awesome if they actually do something with that. And of course, Ghost Rider comics, because I love Ghost Rider. I mean, who doesn't love Ghost Rider? It's a flaming motorcycle that defies gravity. Anyways, but I think, Sylvia, this is going to be her coming out story as Enchantress from the comics. Now, in episode 3, giving us the LVA agents are variants, okay? That's really soon, because Loki's supposed to, it's going to be 2 seasons. Loki's going to be 2 seasons. The second season was confirmed that there is going to be a second season of Loki, according to some of the other information I got from other YouTubers. So this is very early on that comes out, and this episode was really good because we actually got a little bit more of the backstory of Sylvia, and also it ended they're on a doomed planet that's going to be destroyed by a moon falling. This is episode 3, so Loki and Sylvia will survive. And I think also in surviving, they're probably going to screw up the sacred timeline even more. Because both Sylvia and Loki want to meet the timekeepers. So I think this first season is going to be them, meeting the timekeepers. The end, or towards the end, will be them meeting the timekeepers. And because in episode 1, that box of stones, of infinity stones that are useless in that dimension, they're still infinity stones, okay? When they're not in the LVA dimension, or the dimension between dimensions, they still have power. And Loki was holding the time stone, and he realized in that first episode the true power of time, okay? And our Loki, he's obsessed with power. So, yes, episode 4 will be Loki using the time stone in some way. Because, he has experience using infinity stones because, he used the Tesseract, no problem. He had the staff with that other stone in it. So he's been experienced with the stones. So they both want to meet the timekeeper. So what best way to meet the timekeepers is to screw up the sacred timeline beyond what the TVA agents can do to fix it. So if they screw up the timeline before, okay, and we're probably gonna go through each episode screwing up the timeline in different ways. Who knows how that will manifest? The options are just there. So I think that's what's going to be going on from hence on. That's my opinion. Because the controller is destroyed. They can't get back to the TVA. So if they can't get to the time gods, the time gods, maybe there will be time gods. More on that in a second. If they can't get to the timekeepers will come to them. Okay, so watch for that. I'm pretty sure. And the other thing, the timekeepers, I think are going to be some type of mechanical machine type being. One proof to that, look at Miss Minutes. Miss Minutes in the second episode, she's just like a little icon, and she's like floating around, and she doesn't have a body. It's just light. She's some type of sentience. Okay, that comes from somewhere. That is, and the way the TVA is constructed, it's very machine-like. How things, this happens, you do this. This happens, you do this. Okay? There is no thinking at all, no choice, no nothing. And this is machine thinking. So, I think the timekeepers are going to be some type of robot. And the other thing too is a robot mechanical body can last a long time. Look at Vision. Okay? Vision was supposedly destroyed, and it was brought back by Wanda's chaos magic. And it started off as Ultron, then it became a composite between Ultron, Tony Stark, and Jarvis. That's the Vision. Who knows, sometime in the future, maybe at the end of the cycle or something like that, we'll find that Vision, maybe a vision of, maybe a vision of things to come, timekeeper of the future. Vision. This is his past. You know, uh, just a little theory there, but about Vision, I don't know if Vision's going to be true or not, but I do believe that the timekeepers are machines, robots, some type of sentient creatures. And I'm sure that the people who are writing this, they know about Doctor Who. And people talk about Doctor Who all the time in reference to Loki. You know, Loki is probably where Doctor Who should have gone. I don't know. Yeah, it's like Doctor Who's gone off on some type of tangent, so we can still get our time travel and Loki. So, yeah, I mean, we have the Daleks who, like, in Doctor Who, controlled, you know, they were equals to the Time Lords, okay? So, I think we're going to see something like that played out in Marvel's own way, because they can't copy that exactly. But they can come around the idea, because that idea is in science fiction. It goes back to the day the Earth stood still, really old, and they may pull out an old what's that, Twilight Zone episode, or one of those types of episodes, Ray Bradbury story, and pull out something from that, I don't know, and kind of mix it with the time gods, the timekeepers of the Marvel. Of course, we also do have the Internals coming up. I think they're coming up in December. They're either coming up in December or next year. But the Internals are going to be coming up, the actual movie. I'm not sure if it's going to be before Spider-Man or after Spider-Man. And also we're going to have Doctor Strange, the multiverse of madness, and Loki. The series is setting that up, and I think season 2 will probably mix into Doctor Strange more so, because it'll be right around the time of Doctor Strange, because that's supposed to be coming out next year, I think next summer of 22. So, those are my thoughts. Some things to think about, and I will continue listening to all those other people out there and all those other ideas, because this is what it means to be, a true geek, to let your imagination fly with possibilities. And me being poet, I get my inspiration from that, as well as life. Magicians, I thought, too, was like an awesome series. I binge watched that. I just could not get enough of those episodes. Anyways, continuing on, the next vid will be the my Yu-Gi-Oh! Pack 4 opening, and I do have the deck made, and that'll be coming out in 2 episodes. I haven't made that video yet, but I'm gonna put up the because I'm going through my deck and seeing how I could run it if I was actually playing against another deck, to help give you guys a better idea of if the deck is good or not. So anyways, or maybe I'll just give you some ideas for your own deck. Because the cards that came out in Lightning Overdrive, I mean, Dark Honest, that is a hand trap. I mean, if you get 3 Dark Honest, that's awesome. Boo Boo something, it's a trap card. That's an awesome trap card. So there's like a lot of like little cards in there that you know, and I got some Majestus cards that I can put into my Majestus deck, which is slowly building and creating. Anyways, I go on. Thank you for watching, and stay creative out there in the multiverse, which is really, I think there's really only one universe, you know. But the idea of the multiverse makes good for science fiction. But I think once we make a decision that the possibility doesn't exist, you know, maybe exist on some plane of the mind, and if you want to see how things play out, we can go to that plane of the mind and see how that plays out. I don't know. Multiverse, it's a fun story to a fun mechanism for new stories to come out, for, you know, new ideas, or to see an old idea differently. So anyways, that's how we grow, that's how we learn. Stay creative in the multiverse of madness. Ciao.